A couple of days ago, the new Marvel Disney Plus show Echo released all of its episodes for the world to see. This was a series that no one was excited about until the first trailer dropped, revealing it would be a mature rated show and promised to go back to the dark gloomy style of the Netflix shows. Everyone thought the MCU was back after that trailer and that this would be a new era for Marvel. Spoiler, it wasn't. But without wasting more time, let's dive deeper into how a show like Echo, with so much potential, fell flat when compared to what was promised. I'm going to be honest, I was actually kind of excited for the show. The new tone it had, the action, the rating, Daredevil, even though it was kind of obvious he would be in the show for 2 minutes, I was still hoping for this show to be good. And it just did not live up to it. Echo had some high expectations, especially considering Marvel's recent streak of products, with releasing a good show or movie, then releasing a bad one, then a good one, and so on and so forth. Everyone was waiting to see how this show would fall, considering we just had What If Season 2, which many liked way more than the first season. Fans, especially Daredevil ones, were buzzing with excitement, hoping for another captivating addition to the MCU. Many wanted to see how they would bring the character of Maya Lopez to life. However, as we delve into the show, it quickly became apparent that Echo struggled to live up to the hype. The build-up and excitement led up to a somewhat underwhelming experience. It's not that the show was bad, I mean, it's not Quantumania level of bad. I'm going to use that phrase until the day I die, but it just didn't meet the high expectations set for it. One aspect that could have elevated Echo was its TV mature rating. The entire marketing of the show was with its rating, so many were expecting a grittier, more mature storyline similar to the Netflix Defender shows. Unfortunately, this potential was largely wasted. The show didn't fully capitalize on the freedom the rating offered, leaving us wonder what could have been. I mean, when you think of a mature rating, you think of excessive violence, blood, and curse words. For Echo, I only remember like 3 or 4 instances where something really violent actually happened, and they were all in the trailer. Hell, Guardians Volume 3 had more swear words than this. Now let's talk about the story, or rather the lack of a cohesive one. Echo seems to struggle with establishing a compelling narrative, the plot felt disjointed, and certain story arcs were left underdeveloped. I don't know if the story was just too complicated, or the editing was just not it. I mean, they only released 5 of the 6 episodes that were recorded, but the story of Echo is not there. The first episode is the longest one, and they spend the majority of it telling us about Maya's background, and they set up a street war between her and Fisk. But that never happens. The rest of the episodes feel more like side stories than anything. Episode 4 was where it looked like they were really starting to get somewhere, but they didn't. I started watching the finale wondering what freaking story they were going to wrap up when there really isn't any. And that's exactly what they did. They didn't wrap shit. Maya suddenly gains healing powers out of nowhere, and Kingpin leaves her alone after that? And that's it? I just gave you a summary of the entire show. Nothing happens. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. Echo did have some shining moments. The action sequences, for example, were undeniably impressive, delivering the kind of high-octane Marvel goodness we've come to expect. They had a bit more liberty with the moves they were using, considering the rating, and of course, the return of Kingpin brought a level of excitement that was hard to ignore. Also, that one-shot action sequence with Daredevil was sick as fuck. But sadly, it's just about 2 minutes long. That really was just there to make the Netflix shows canon. Now let's give credit where credit is due. Alaka Cox's portrayal of Maya Lopez, aka Echo, was a standout performance. She brought depth and complexity to the character, making audiences a bit more invested in her journey, despite the other shortcomings of the show. But the whole thing with her ancestors was not that well developed. Seriously, I still have no idea what the freaking story in the show was. And Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, aka the sickest mother in the series. It's just amazing. I mean, not really much to say there. And Charlie Cox is just in this for like 2 minutes, but yeah, he's still the best part of the show. Look, I know Echo may have not been the groundbreaking Marvel show we were hoping for, but it still had its moments. The action, the return of Kingpin, and Alaka Cox's portrayal of Echo were definite highlights. Now with this show continuing the recent good and bad streak Marvel has had, this can only mean that Deadpool 3 is going to be absolute gas! The only thing I recommend watching from Echo would be the first and the last episode so you're caught up with the Kingpin story, and also so you can watch the intro, which is honestly the second best part of the show. Daredevil obviously being the first. I'm going to give Echo a 5.5 out of 10. But again, that is my opinion. If you have different thoughts, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.